everyone, Bushra Azhar back with yet another session on the 30 days of persuasion. And today I'm talking about how to Botox your testes. Tests as in not your testicles, but your testimonials. Even though if you want to Botox your testicles, that's let's just talk about why you need to Botox your testimonials, why Botox testimonials are important, and why the wrong social proof is the worst thing you can put on your sales page and in your sales argument. I'm going to be talking about all of that in today's session of the 30 days of persuasion. So excited to be here. My name is Bushra Azhar. I'm the founder of the Persuasion Revolution, and I teach tiny businesses how to make big bucks using the psychology of persuasion. And one of those ways is to use standout social proof so that the testimonials that you put on your sales page, they create an immediate longing excitement about your product. Because let's admit it, most testimonials out there suck balls. They are so horrid that instead of attracting the right people, they repel the people, they repel the buyer, right? You read the testimonial like, this is so lame. It's like it is telling me to just go and hide and run and save my money, right? We're going to be talking about how to Botox the testimonials so they're not wrinkly and floppy and lame and weird anymore. Instead, they're all nice and shiny, unlike certain parts of your anatomy that I'm not going to talk about. So if you're here and you see me and hear me, please let me know in the comments. I will take a moment right now to share this broadcast with someone. Please do a favor and do me a favor and share this broadcast with someone who can benefit from this. Again, in these 30 days, I'm talking about topics that most people overlook. So this will be really exciting for someone who is struggling with getting the right social proof and basically actually getting it. So I'm just going to go on and share this broadcast with someone, and I would love for you to do the same for me because that would make me feel all great and nice, and that's always a good thing. Okay, I'm going to go share this and there we go. Oh, okay. And by the way, this is day 9 of the 30 days of persuasion. I can't believe I've never done anything for 9 days straight. Nothing ever, except for the mothering part, which obviously you're stuck with the mothering, so you gotta do it all your life. But I can't believe, oh, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Ida. Thank you so much for joining me today. So yes, I can't believe that I've done this for so long. I've never done anything for 9 days straight. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm also going to be making sure that everyone knows that we are actually live so that 30 days of persuasion. Okay. Anyhow. Hello, Penny. Hello, everyone. I love all the people who are joining. Please, if you guys are here and you're interested in the topic and you want someone from your friends list or someone in your group or someone in your community who you think could benefit from this, please take a moment to share this. This is going to be a doozy. This will be awesome. Now, first of all, before we get into the topic of how to Botox your testimonial, let's just talk about what are Botox testimonials. Why do we need a Botox testimonial? The reason we need a Botox testimonial is that, unfortunately, I invite you to go check out any product, any course, anything that's open right now, and go check it out. I can guarantee that half of the social proof that is on that sales page or on that product page, half of the social proof will actually repel you instead of attracting you to that product. Why? Because it's either too generic or too broad or not specific enough, or just uses such the generic language that it could actually be a testimonial for anything really, right? So that is the problem with most testimonials, and that is not the kind of social proof you want for your product. If you want someone to fall head over heels in with your product, if you want to create a hunger and a longing for your product, then you want to make sure that your testimonials make people go, oh my God, take this money. I have the story where I was on the verge of buying a super expensive program, and then I went through the entire sales page and it had ton of testimonials, like a shit ton of testimonials, but literally not a single testimonial spoke to me. Why? Because they were lame. Let's just put it this way. They were lame testimonials. They were testimonials that those were things that the customer said, the buyer said, and they were just plopped onto that sales page as it is. The idea behind a Botox testimonial is to take an existing testimonial that you have from a lot of your clients, someone who's worked with you, someone who's worked with you in the past, or someone who's working with you right now, or even someone who you gave free coaching to or free services to in return for a testimonial. Now, what's important is to make sure that you already have a prior relationship with that testimonial giver. The idea behind Botoxing your testimonial is to take that lame-ass testimonial and with the permission of your client or your customer, whoever is giving the testimonial, with their permission, you Botox it. You make it you make it a bit sexier. I'm going to talk about how you can do that. You make it, you focus on the areas that are important to the argument that you're making. You strengthen the areas that support your sales argument, and you leave out the areas that do nothing for the sales argument. For God's sake, stop copy pasting 500-word testimonials that talk about anything from your dog being cute to your hair being cute or you being funny. Instead, only focus on things that actually reinforce the sales argument that you're making. That is the idea behind conducting a Botox surgery. And we are going to be talking about the 3 steps that you can do that. And today I have this fancy, very fancy $4 board that I'm going to be talking about. So step 1 that we're going to be focusing on is choosing the right testimonial. That is really important. Not all testimonials have a place on your sales page. You have to choose the right one. And I'm going to give you the criteria of how I choose the testimonials that I will put on my sales page. Just because you have 200 testimonials does not mean you need to put all those 200 of those on the sales page. I'm lucky and I'm blessed and I'm really honored that I have 1,000 plus testimonials. I can't put them all on the sales page. I need to find a reason to choose the right one and then Botox it. Because honestly, some testimonials are unsalvageable. There's nothing you can do. No amount of Botox could actually help them. They are gone beyond repair, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So we are only going to be talking about the ones that can be salvaged. And how do you choose them? You choose them. Thank you. I'm so glad. Hey, morning, Natalie, my love, you're here. Okay. So the very first criteria in choosing the right testimonial to Botox is that the testimonial is result-based. It is not about how cute you are, or how great your sense of humor is, how you make them laugh, or how you're so compassionate, or how you're supporting this cause. Instead, it is result-based. So find a testimonial that talks about an exact result that you allowed that person to get. Criteria number 1. Criteria number 2, you have to have a prior relationship with the client and a prior positive relationship with the client, because you're going to be asking their permission to take their testimonial and tweak it. And you cannot do that with someone who you don't have a good relationship with, right? So make sure you only pick testimonials from people who have a good relationship with, because you're going to ask them, can I tweak this? Can I beef it up? Can I highlight some points and drop some other points and then get their sign off? So it's important that you have a relationship. Criteria number 3, and this is going to be very unpopular. I know that, but I'm going to say it anyway. Make sure that your testimonial is not from someone who's a serial testimonial giver. Now, raise your hands if you know people who have a testimonial on every product. Like literally, there are people who are in my course and they are in 4 other competing courses and they have a testimonial on all of their pages. Right? They are serial testimonial givers. Don't choose such a testimonial. I want you to raise your hand and tell me if you know of someone like this, because I do. So if you know someone like this, you have to raise your hand and tell me that, yes, you do know. Because there are people, and they were in my program, and they asked me if they want a testimony, if I want a testimonial from them, or if I want to do a case study for them. And I had to decline because honestly, their testimonial is on every page. They are serial testimonial givers. You don't want serial testimonial givers on your sales page because you want to be distinctive. So if you know some of those people, raise your hand if you know those people. Don't be shy. I know it's unpopular. I know it's an unpopular opinion. But honestly, that's true. If you're going to give a testimonial to everyone, including my direct competition, then I don't really know what you're doing, right? I'm not sure I want to highlight you on my page as well. Criteria number 4, make sure you're using someone with the right label. And I am not someone who can talk about racism or diversity. Honestly, because I lived in a country where we're all the same race. So we discriminate against each other based on the shade of color that we are. We discriminate against each other on religion and sect and social class, but I come from a country where we're all the same race. So I honestly feel like I cannot give an opinion on racial issues. But what I do know is that you need to have some diversity. At least if you're going to highlight people, if you're going to highlight your clients, and all of your clients are single white men or rich white men, which happened to me. I was looking to invest in a program. I went through the sales page. I was really convinced. And I was like, there isn't a single person of color there, and there are hardly two women. Do I really want to be? Because that label does not speak to me, right? I want to, if you are going to target a certain type of person, so that person, that course was targeted at me, right? I am a almost 40-year-old mother, expat mother, who's brown, who is from the subcontinent, who's never lived in the US or any English-speaking country. I don't see that label. So if you have diversity in your client base, then you should highlight that diversity in your client base. It's just not just because it's the right thing to do, but also because it's good business. You will be putting more labels up for people who should have that, right? And I understand that there is that label that comes from a fluency, and I'm not going to talk about that. But really, do you want to position yourself as someone who only caters to a certain class or a certain color, or do you want to position yourself as someone who can get results for anyone, really? That's the choice that you got to make. And the last criteria for choosing the testimonial is choose a testimonial that strengthens your weak points. So whatever your weak point is, maybe your weak point is that you're just starting out, right? So you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of track record. Choose a testimonial that talks about how you give one-on-one attention. Whatever your weak point is, we all know in our sales argument, when we're trying to sell something, we all know that there will be a weak point. Like, for example, if I'm trying to sell something, my biggest weak point that I refuse to address because I do not like people. My biggest weak point is that I have zero network. I don't network. I don't hang out with the big guys. I literally have no big guys except for my husband when he eats too much, which he is doing nowadays. That's the only big guy in my life, right? I don't have any connections. I don't have any influences. So I literally have nothing that I can actually focus on when it comes to, look how well connected I am. Look how important I am. I'm hanging out with all of these big guys because I don't. A, I don't want to. And B, honestly, that's not me. Hey, Ibrahim. Hey. Tamisha said that's very similar from where I am as well. Excellent. I love that. Okay. Love the video on guarantees. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I'm so glad that you did. Okay. So now that you have chosen your testimonial based on these 5 criteria, I'm going to take a lot of pleasure in just deleting this. I was really, it's not deleting, it's kind of rubbing this off. I was really excited about doing this. Step number 2 is perform the surgery. So now that you've chosen the testimonial, now we are going to perform the surgery. And please don't go all medical on me, trying to explain to me that Botox is not surgery. I'm not interested in your opinion, especially when I'm wrong. That's the way of the internet. Do not share your opinion with me if I'm wrong. Feel free to share your opinion with me if you're going to tell me how great I am. But if you're going to give me an opinion that tells me that I'm wrong, then please shove it. I don't want to hear it. So if you're going to tell me that Botox is not a surgery, which, by the way, if someone is going to inject poison in any part of your body, that classifies as surgery. Anyhow, please don't correct me if I'm wrong. Please don't correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about how to perform the surgery. How do you perform the surgery? Okay, so far, how are we doing? Are you enjoying this session? Are you not enjoying this session? Are you like, what the hell is she talking about? Are you like, this is so useful, I want this? Because I see a few angry hearts, and I'm just going to go out on a very positive limb and assume that all the angry faces are just typos. Because, dude, if you're angry, what are you doing here? Don't stay here. Don't let me spoil your day. Go do something better. I promise there are better people with much better English language and much less efforts than I have. So honestly, if you're angry at being here, just leave. I promise I will live. But if you're enjoying this, please give me a thumbs up. And also please take a moment to share this broadcast with someone, because it brightens my day when I see more people joining it. Yes, I am a narcissist, and That's fine. That's who I am. Okay. So moving on to the next one, performing the surgery. How do you perform the surgery? You perform the surgery. The step one that you are going to take when you are going to perform the surgery is you are going to figure out the before. So whoever is giving your testimonial, you have to figure out their before. Now, if they've not mentioned their before in the testimonial, ask them. What was the situation before they started working with you, before they started using the product? Figure out the before, and then figure out the after, and then figure out the journey. A good Botox testimonial is the one that talks about that transformation from before to after. If it is not mentioned in the testimonial itself, it is your responsibility to ask it or figure it out. What was the before, what was the after, and what was the journey? And by the way, this rule applies if you're conducting case study interviews or if you're getting a testimonial. So let's just say you don't have a testimonial and now you're in the process of asking someone for a testimonial. Make sure to include these questions. What was the before? What was the after? What was the journey from before to after? And how did you facilitate that journey? I will repeat this. Figure out the before, figure out the after, figure out the journey, and then figure out how you as a seller facilitated that journey. What was your role in facilitating that journey? Another mistake that I see a lot of case study interviews make is that when they talk about the journey from before to after, the testimonial giver positions is as if they took the journey on their own. You cannot let that happen. You are going to talk about how you as a seller facilitated that journey from before to after. How did they go from before to after? What path they took? What was the journey like? And how you facilitated it. And then figure out the happy ever after. So including a line or a sentence in a testimonial that says something like, as an example, Julie was a single mother of two, living on welfare before she started working with me. In the last 3 months while she was working with me, she went through, this and this and this, figure out the journey, how you facilitated it. And now she is making $2,000 a month and does not have to be on welfare anymore. So that's the before, the after, and the journey. But then also include a sentence on the happy ever after, which is, if Julie continues to do what I'm coaching her to do, or you can say, so it's Julie in first, Julie is giving the testimonial. So she says something like, if I continue to listen to all the advice that Bushra has given me, I am on track to making my first $50,000 in the next 3 years or something, right? So that's the happily ever after. So that is Julie's story. Before, after, the journey, how Bushra facilitated that journey, and then what is the happily ever after. So those are the first 4 steps that you're going to take. Is this clear to you, or are you like, it doesn't make sense? How do I do it? Let me know in the comments whether this makes sense. Let me know in the comments whether you're like, oh my God, I can totally do this. Or are you thinking, I don't know how to do this. This is too hard. How do I even ask for it? Either way, please let me know so that I actually know. Thank you, Natalie, for sharing this. Dude, I love you for sharing this broadcast with someone. If you're here and you have someone who can benefit from this, please take a moment and share this, because again, this is useful shit. Okay. Step number 5, replace the lame adjectives with high emotion adjectives. So lame adjectives are, Bushra is great, or Bushra's course is awesome, or this course was fantastic. Lame. It could mean anything. These lame adjectives could mean anything. But when you replace them with high emotion ones, words that convey more than just, a regular overheard word, then it immediately Botoxes your testimonial, right? So as an example, if you're looking for a list of high emotion words, you can go to my website. There is a list called 380 high emotion words. Even if you Google 380 high emotion words, you will land on my website. It has a long list of words that you can use to replace your lame adjectives. So just have that list in front of you and start replacing these lame adjectives, these awesomes and greats and fantastics and a pleasure to work with and awesome. Start replacing them with high emotion words. And if you want even more high emotion words, you can go to thepersuasionrevolution.com/freebies. And there is a free PDF that is called the Emotion Playbook, the Emotions Playbook, that allows you to use words depending on the emotion that you want to create. So if you want to create the emotion of excitement, then there are words that you can use to create excitement. If you want to create compassion, there are words that can actually create that. So the blog post and the PDF both are super useful to help you do that. And the last step is, when you put the testimonial up, when you put the text of the testimonial up, make sure you start at the highest point. Don't start at the start, right? Ooh, this is really important. Don't start at the start. Don't start with, once upon a time, I was taking a bazillion other courses and I was lost and I was depressed and I was deprived. And instead, start from the highest point of your story, whatever that story is. The highest point could simply be, last month, I made more money than I made in the last full year. That is the highest point of your story. Always start your testimonial from the highest point of your story and then work back from there to the rest of your story. This is a really simple storytelling tip that you should be using for anything, but more importantly, for your testimonials, because people read that first line. So when you started on the highest point of the story, now they're interested in hearing what the rest of it says. But if the first part of the story is, I was lost and I was despondent, I was buying courses after courses, and they're like 3 lines of the backstory, people lose interest. So what about physical product testimonials? Vesna, exactly same principle applies to the physical product testimonials. There is no difference. There will always be a before, there will always be an after, there will always be a journey, there will always be, you can always replace lame words with more high emotion words. Everything will remain the same. I don't see there is only the examples that I'm giving, they are for courses, but there will not be any difference. Thank you so much for your kind words, Ibrahim. I am so freaking grateful to you. Okay. So that was step number 2. I'm going to take a lot of pleasure in wiping this out. And then step number 3 that you can't read because my handwriting is so beautiful is get the sign off. We cannot just Botox a testimonial and run with it, because that would be sleazy and icky and you don't want to do that. And I will not allow you to do that. What do? You get them signed off. So you will share the Botox testimonial with the client, get a sign off. And if you have a testimonial release form that says, I give you permission to use this testimonial in your whatever documentation, then go on and get it signed by your client. If there is any supporting documentation that you need, which I recommend that you do, if there is a before after, let's chase a product, there is a before after picture, there's a screenshot for income claims, any of those things, if you need, make sure you get them for the client and get a headshot and the correct name, and you're good to go. So even though it's a really simple process, it will forever change the way you do testimonials, because most testimonials suck ball. They are horrible. And the best way for you to do that is to make sure that you Botox them. It is to make sure that you start by choosing the right testimonial, then making sure you put them through the surgery of the Botox itself. That surgery is going to change everything when it comes to your testimonials. If you're going to take a testimonial and plop it on a sales page, that's nothing. That's nothing. You're doing yourself a disservice. Get it Botoxed first, get the sign off from the client, and only then put it up with the permission of your client. But the Botox is a must. I keep saying the Botox is a must, like I have done Botox a million times, but you know what? Now that I'm talked so much about it, I can totally give it a shot. Why not? Okay. Yes, always, Anjali says she's always does this. That is awesome. You need to get their sign off. What to do if you're just starting out, non-testimonials yet? If you're just starting out, Diane, you can go to my website or you can Google it. There is a blog post that I wrote that's called No Testimonial, No Problem. Here are 12 ways to establish credibility without a testimonial. So I have a blog post on my website. If you Google it, The Persuasion Revolution, No Testimonials, No Problem, you will arrive at it. So you can go check it out. Ibrahim, before I had billions, thanks to Bushra, now I have trillions. Even Bushra doesn't have billions or trillions or any of those illions. Millions is fine. But thank you so much for saying that, Ibrahim. So this is your process to create standout social proof, to Botox your testimonials so that you actually get the right social proof, so that you actually get people excited to buy from you, right? And not just turn them away. Now, I should also let you know that my best-selling book, Mass Persuasion Method, is now available in paperback, and I'm so excited about it. So please go to Amazon.com, order my best-selling book called Mass Persuasion Method. And once you do that, you also get access to $800 worth of bonuses. So I'm going to leave the link to the page where you can go check out the book as well as claim your bonuses. You can also go check it out at bit.ly/mpmbook, bit.ly/mpmbook. Check it out. Get it in your grubby little hands and claim your bonuses. The book is only $14, but the bonuses are worth $800. It will be awesome for you to join me, have my book. And please, once you have the book, take a selfie with the book and put it up and tag me, because I love it when people take selfies with my book, because I still haven't had a chance to hold my book in my own hands and I'm dying. Hello, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this session. I really enjoyed doing it, even though I spent way too much time talking about testicles and Botox, which is kind of weird and painful and sounds just disturbing. But if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and also share this video with someone. Also, if you have not gotten a copy of my book yet, I am really pissed. You should, because it's awesome. And I will see you tomorrow.